Hey everybody, it's Ellen Juddy, your PLC lead for high school dance on the Godot Communities website. Hope you are doing well as we come into March and we're getting close to spring break. Yay! So hope you are doing well and I hope your spring show preparation is going good. For this webinar, I wanted to talk about student choreographers, student choreography. I'm not sure how you run that in your program or if you even do. I have done a lot of student choreo, and especially moving forward as the years go by, I do more and more of it. So, and usually it is my seniors, and there's a application that they have to fill out. So that's usually how we do that. Pandemic. So we got sent home March of 2020. So of course we didn't have a spring show that year. We did have a few student pieces that year that did not get performed for our spring show. Then when we came back for the next school year 2021, in the fall, my principal allowed me to do a show on the track outside of at the football field. So we sort of put together some of the pieces that we were supposed to learn for spring of the year we got sent home. We recreated some of them and did them on the track. It was like a once and done show. And it was, I'm glad we got to perform. It was quite interesting to be outside in the middle of a Saturday afternoon, dancing on a track with masks on. But anyway, that went fine. And then that next semester, you've got your kids online, you got your kids in the classroom. So we're teaching concurrent, which is the most awful thing ever. I know you probably agree with me. So I did the whole thing. It was the beginning of the spring semester. I said, who wants to choreograph? And everybody knows it's my seniors. And I got a lot of inquiries from every single student. No, not every single student. But a lot of students, maybe not ninth graders so much, but 10th through 12th grade. And they were like, Miss Ellen, I want to choreograph. I was like, okay. So then I started thinking, about the application and why do I limit it to just seniors? I know why I limited to just seniors because you've known them for a while. They're more mature. You know their work, all of those reasons. But I was like, let me just rethink that, and I was really surprised that all these kids wanted to choreograph. And so I just was like, okay, maybe I need to just figure what this is all about. And so I got rid of the application and I was basically like, okay, who wants to choreograph? And so even some of my online kids were like, I want to choreograph. And so I was like, okay, let's do this. And it was a challenge, but I'm like, why all of a sudden do all these kids want to choreograph? And I think it's just because they had something to say and they wanted to express themselves. We had been online for half of the 2020, and then even half of the kids were still online and not back in school, and I just think they had something to say. So I was like, I can give them that opportunity. So that's what I did. So I'm looking at my notes here. So I had some decisions to make. Even if this was a few years ago, I would not have done this. I would have said, no way, you must be a senior. I must see the application. You have to write the essay that goes along with it. Not essay, a little bit of a couple paragraphs about your piece. I want to see the adjudication, and then we can decide if it will go on stage. So I had to think, well, how am I going to do that? Well, I just really jumped in and I was like, let's just do this. So, I don't know, maybe, if I look back and reflect, it could be because I was tired. We were all tired. So I was like, I don't want to go through the whole process of the application and the adjudication. And then I wanted to give everyone a chance to create and, speak their minds. So then I jumped in. So, anyway, so it was a new journey that we were having to, take a different path. So I still needed to create some expectations, with each student that was choreographing. So I did have them run their music choices by me. But then with my seasoned student choreographers, that's really all I did with them. Some of the newer choreographers, I did speak with them about the challenges of, working with peers and how that can go. But other than that, I really just let them to the business of creating their own dances. Like I said, it was challenging somewhat for the online kids, but the whole school year was a horrible challenge last year. So it was like par for the course. Interesting that, my choreographer would be in her living room on Zoom, and then I'd have maybe half the class on Zoom, and I had shared her on the screen, and then I had the in-person kids. It was a mess. We did it, and we did it so well. And please don't judge me on this next statement, but for that spring show of spring 2021, I had here's the judging part. I had 28 dances. I know, get a little overboard. But 25 out of those 28 were student choreographed. So like the whole show was student choreographed, and it was good. I keep thinking, about facilitation versus teaching, which was another webinar that I did. If we just continually stand up in front of the room and spit out dances that they're going to learn and then they're going to perform for you. That's, if you're looking at depth of knowledge, there's your rote memory, maybe there's a little emotion behind things. But if they're creating and they're teaching their peers, that's a total depth of knowledge level 4. So here I went on this journey of letting them create for themselves. So that's what I wanted to talk about for these, the challenges of student choreography. So this segment was called choreography application, creating expectations. And I will move on to that. Next one is navigating peer-to-peer working relationships, which can be very interesting. And then the third segment will be from conception to stage. So anyway, getting back to this, if you are seasoned with doing this kind of thing, I would love to hear again in the comments, how you work student choreo into your program. I don't necessarily suggest that you open it up like I did, like, hey, whoever wants to choreograph, go ahead. Just because it is a challenge, but I felt it was the right time for us as a program. So you might still want to do an application process. I will drop my application that I have used in the past for you in the documents section of the community's website. But I'm going to read this right from the application. It's, please write a 3-paragraph essay to express your motivation and intention in creating this work. Make sure to document the details of your choreography by addressing the theme. Also, add information about lighting, costumes, and or set that you would ideally like to see as part of your choreography, because I don't want to get these like grand ideas of, production that I can't, make happen. So anyway, if you're just starting out with this kind of thing, I do advise that you do some sort of application. And like I said, I'm getting away from it. But technically speaking, this is really only my second semester in running things like this with choreo, and knock on wood, so far it's going good. And it's already taken hold sort of as the culture in the program. I had some 9th graders come up to me this semester or last semester, and they were like, well, do you let 9th graders choreograph? And I didn't want to say no, because if they have something to say and they can create something, I'm open to it. So I do suggest moving into it slow, because it's definitely something that takes some practice, especially when you're dealing with personalities and making sure the student choreographers are prepared and ready to work with peers. But I say it's totally worth to let your students create, communicate, and express themselves through dance. And an added bonus to all this, culturally responsive teaching and learning. A question that I have been asking myself is how to decenter my content from ballet, modern, and jazz based dances and add in more world dance or just different sorts of things. Or maybe I should say adding in dance from the cultures of my students. So I have a lot of Indian and first generation African students. And so we've done a lot of Bollywood. We've done some African already, and I'm not qualified to teach any of that. So, it's been really nice. I've gotten to add all that into my shows. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. So that sums up the student choreography part 1. Like I said, I'll drop the application in the document section, and you can, do whatever you want with that. Don't use it, chop it up, use one question, do whatever you want with that. And the next section, we will talk about navigating peer-to-peer working relationships. All right. See you soon.